Okay, hello, sending you warm greetings. My name is Emmanuel Ba, and I'm here to share with you some interesting, deep truths about how we can transcend our limits. And sometimes we feel like we have a limitation. Of course, every human being has a limitation, but most of these limitations are perceived limitations, and that we can transcend these limits. We can change our lives. We can become better when we look at these limits by renewing our minds. So I'm here to share with you interesting deep truths about how we can change our lives for the better as we look critically at our brain and refill our brain with positive things whilst we flush off the negative things. So watch out. Everything you see going on inside your body, any feeling you have going on inside the body is as a result of the instructions that the body has received from the brain. It is the brain that tells the body as to what to do. The body is an unconscious being. It cannot think on its own. It can't act on its own. It only acts based on the instructions that the brain gives it. Bibia ekoso nipadua yi mu no. Ejina de adwen no aka kire nipadua no. De adwen ne kire nipadua no eno na eye. Nipadua we are unconscious. Eno antimi ndwen, eno antimi nye bibia. Ni mom de adwen no ka kire no no. Eno na eye. Yes, of course, the body is like an animal. It's just like a pet. It has to be trained to know exactly what to do by the brain. So when you bring a pet to your home, you start calling it by a certain name. Buffy. The first time you call the pet Buffy, it doesn't understand what you're talking about. Then you call the pet the second time, third time, then as it continues. The pet learns to understand that that is a name you want to call it by. Then, all of a sudden, or sooner or later, you realize that the pet responds to the name. And then it gets used to the name. That's how the body is. It's just like a pet. The brain speaks to the body. It doesn't understand what the brain is actually talking about. It doesn't understand what to do. But the more you keep on talking to the body, by training it, it gets used to. So it is the brain that trains the body what to do. Adreno and the train nipadua de onye nipadua te say akofa aboa bi aba ofi na wo ye no. O frɛ na onim say saa na ye frɛ no. But uguso a wo frɛ no no, o frɛ no no Buffy we hu sa fe aboa no ate asese ne di no no. Sana nipadua no ne adwene ti adwene de ka che nipadua no eno na nipadua no ye. So it is the brain that trains the body to do anything the body can do. So the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you smile, the way you laugh, the way you eat, the way you dress, whatever you are, your personality, your dignity, your honor, all have been instructed by the brain. So it's the brain that makes you walk the way you walk. Sadia wonante, sadia osre, sadia udidi. Sadia oye obi bia, wani monyama wo wa ho fa wo. Ni nyina ejina adwene no de ka kire nipadua no. Ene nipadua no ye. The brain does not only instruct the body to do what it has to do, but the brain also instructs your external environment. All the environment that surrounds you have been instructed by the brain to behave the way they are behaving. The relationship you have, the business you run, the family you lead, or whatever you do, if you're a woman, if you're a wife, if you're a husband, your brain commands your environment. So the behavior that people have towards you, whether your marriage is successful or not, whether your relationship is successful or not, whatever you're facing with in life, mostly depends on what the brain instructs your environment. If your brain negatively instructs your environment, you're going to have a negative environmental response. Enye nipadua no kwa na adwene kasa kire no. Nemu enoma atwa ehu ahia nyina. Sade ehunu bibia sade ekɔ no, ɛyɛ adwene na ma ehunu sade ehunu. So wa ware a, wa ware mu no sade aware na tie no. Wa adwene de ɛka ɛkyerɛ wo spouse. Ɛno na ma ne behave sade o behave no. De ɛka kyerɛ wo namfo no wo adwuma wo ya, wo adwuma no sade wa adwene no ɛkyerɛ wo adwuma no ho. Ɛno na ma ehunu sade adwuma no ɛkɔ no. So it is the brain that commands the body. So the brain is the command center of the body and the command center of our external environment. So if you want to have a change of life, if you want to experience new things in life, then critically you have to look at your brain. And I'm saying adwene ne kura at nipadua ne kura brabona wo bonintino. So wo pese wo hu sesan bi sade uhunu sese no wani nye ho na wo pese uhunu bibi foforo a ene na ehese wo hwe wadwene na ewo otirimu no we say eno ena bibia ejina so the brain is just like a workstation. If there is anything going on badly or whatsoever you don't like, if you have been experiencing disappointment, you have been experiencing failures enough such that you think that there's a problem, then you have to critically look at your brain. If you have been experiencing problems in your relationships, in your marriage, in your businesses, I want to encourage you to look at your brain. Because when you look at your brain, you realize that a lot of things have been stored in your brain. And those things that are stored are the things that are actually making you feel the way you feel, making you experience the things you experience. So when you flush those things out of your brain and fill your brain with positive things, you're going to experience new things. Nti normal etwa wo ho ahia no se no na ema wo hunu ne wo hunu dia ene na wo beba behwe wadwene no ɛhɔ na adwuma ni nyinaa wo se wo hwɛ wadwene mu a wo behunu se ne wa store normal wa experience nkrofo no ma bi o mo de aye boni bi obi di aye o adwene bi a wo de ahye utrim se wutimi hwɛ sa no ma ni nyinaa na wo yi no ma ni nyinaa afiri utrim na wo de foforo ehye mu a afi wo behunu se abrabo no be fira sesesa. The Bible says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That means if you can renew your mind, then you can transform your life. It will amaze you how your life will never be the same. Sometimes you feel like things are static. There's nothing you can do again. You feel like there's a huge limitation, and that wherever you want to go, you can't go. You can't fulfill your vision. But I tell you, and encourage you that if you can flush certain things out of your mind and refill it, your life will be changed. Bible say, "Monfa adwene mu foforoye ensakra mo ho." Na we kire titia se utimi esesa adwene no efiri no ma bia ehye mu tese ya ho a ene obetuma sesa wabrabo. Enti enoma kitinkiti bia wo dia hye wadwene mu a atena wo so na eno na upagya wani a wuhu wakoma mu eno na wuhu ba bia wokobia eno na ehunu na wo no se wutimi yifrim na wo de foforo ehye mu a wabrabo besesa ebe yo nwanwa eya wo se wapem eya wo se no ma ba bia no ma wo no saa na beye, but I promise you wabrabo betimi asesa. Wow. I hope you enjoyed the message. God bless you for listening to my message. I believe that with time, your life will never be the same. To keep listening to my messages, subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Facebook, follow me on TikTok, and also follow me on Instagram. Together, we move. Have a good time. Bye.